Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and today I'm making a little butterscotch cocoa and just kind of goofing around. Thought I'd make this video and just maybe talk a little bit because I'm all caught up on my orders. Business has been a little slow this week. And it's raining outside. It's overcast in the low 50s and drizzling rain, so I've got about one more cord of firewood to put in, but I don't want to do it on a rainy day, so I kind of got nothing to do today. I'm trying to dream up another stove design, but I haven't been successful yet. I'm kind of having a little bit of writer's block on that, or inventor's block, I guess you'd have to call it. But, you know, it'll come. I sometimes think that maybe I've invented everything that there is to be invented, and the reason why I can't come up with a new design is because there simply isn't any left. But you and I both know that's not true. There's always another design. If I stopped every time I came to that conclusion before, then the bongo never would have been invented, or the sketty, or the black fly 2, or the black fly 3, or the black fly 4, or the thing, or the BIOS, all that stuff. I always had inventor's block before all of those too. So now I'm just going to sit here and talk for a while. This titanium spoon that I have, I've been looking at it, and I find it rather comical the way it was designed. The way it's designed is it folds up, curls over the spoon part, and the handle swings up around, and there's two little bumps here that are basically the only thing. It jumps past those bumps, and then this piece slides down and holds the arms out so it can't jump past the bumps, but it actually can. Now, what I find comical about this is if you don't get it latched too tight, it'll fold right up. And what I fail to understand is why they didn't put these ears the other way. So instead of folding down around, it folded up around, and this handle laid right in here. In other words, if it had folded like this, I think it would have been more compact. And the beauty of it is, once you swing it down around, that would be, it can't go any further than that because it would be on the upper side of this. You wouldn't even need this lock. It would make it simpler, more rugged, and completely foolproof. There'd be no way for it to fold up. You wouldn't need any way to lock it, just little detent bumps. It would be a better spoon, cheaper to build, and just all the way around a better design. Now, I don't know how many engineers worked on this to make this, but that's my spin on it. There's a lot of fairly obvious things in life that people overlook, and that's basically where I thrive on my stove designs. I build things that are not complicated, but other people simply overlooked them. I'm thinking of buying a new tent. Well, they call it a four-season tent, but I'm not sure whether it actually is or not. It's a Go Light Utopia one-man tent, which I really like the looks of it. It weighs just, a little over 2 pounds. The floor comes separate, and the floor is 9 ounces, so it still weighs under 3 pounds even with the floor. 6-inch bathtub floor. And I'll probably buy it here in the future. I might buy it for a birthday present for myself or for a Christmas present. But the Rainbow 2 that I have now, I really like. But I found that as the weather gets cooler, it has too many vents in it, and the wind blows in all around it, and I can even live with that. But the one thing about it that I can't live with is it only has one pole that goes up around and back down around like a rainbow. And that one pole and the narrow width of the tent doesn't offer enough rigidity, and in the wind it flops back and forth. Merciful. Just terrible. Now, I noticed that the Go Light Utopia 1 has 2 poles that cross and hook in the middle, so you've got poles in all 4 corners, and supposedly it's much better in the wind. I like the vent system better too, and it's not vented around the bottom. So I think it would be much better in the wind and in cold weather. I think that in a 0-degree bag. The inside area is 8 feet by 32, something like that. So there's not a lot extra width because my ground pad, my NeoAir ground pad is 25 by 6 feet. So that would leave me 2 feet up on the end. I usually use my backpack for pillows. So if I was laying on my stomach on my NeoAir and had the backpack in front of me, I'd still have 18 inches at 2 feet in front of me to like do what I'm doing right here, cook cocoa and stuff. And I think I'd have more than enough area because this has a very controlled flame. And I think I'd have enough area to cook inside it on a really cold, rainy day. You know, that's my spin on it. That's probably what I'm going to do next. So, I've also been looking at the hamburger I dry. I'm not happy with it as far as how long it takes for it to rehydrate. It rehydrates really slow. So what I've been doing and what I've tried, and it seems to cut the rehydration time in about in half, is I take it and put it on a cookie sheet and take a roller, a rolling pin, and roll it back and forth and crunch it down and break it up so it goes from what they call hamburger gravel down to hamburger sand. And that seems to give a lot more surface area because there's a lot more pieces. I take it right down the consistency of sand. And it seems to rehydrate quite a bit faster. The consistency still isn't like real hamburger, but the flavor seems to improve a little bit just because of the surface area thing. And it seems to soften up a lot faster. So I'm working on some meals to use that with. I'm trying to perfect like a sloppy joe with a lot of hamburger in it that you can just eat by itself or eat on pasta or dip tortilla wrappers in, or put on bagels or put on potatoes or on spaghetti, or just a universal type meal that you can have in your pack, and whatever you have to go with it, it'll work with, because I really like sloppy joe. Now, I made one batch of this, and the problem I had with it is it didn't come out crunchy enough. It came out too leathery, and it doesn't rehydrate well. So, what I'm going to do is, I think I'm all out now. I'm going to purchase some more tomato powder, ground tomato powder, and mix the whole thing up dry. Tomato powder, dried onion powder, or dried onions, the tomato powder mix, and the hamburger, and maybe a few other spices, and see if I can make a mix that's all mixed right together dry. And then you just put boiling water in it and rehydrate it into a sloppy joe type, it's not dry, it's not wet, it's kind of a slurry. And I think I can do that, but I've got to pick up some dried tomato powder first, and this stuff doesn't last a long time. It sucks up moisture, so I think you'd want to mix this up and vacuum seal it fairly fast to keep the moisture out of it. I don't think it's anything you want to keep around any length of time without it being sealed from the air. So that's what I'm up to. I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike, take a friend, and more important than anything, have a great day. Bye-bye.